Hey everybody, this is Grace. Yeah, it's raining, and it is 4th of July 2025, and it's 4:52 p.m. and it just started raining. And yeah, there'll be a lot of people out at wherever they're going to park. There's a nature preserve, a huge one. And I think there's other parks and stuff on one side. I don't know where all they do, but they do the fireworks at about 9 p.m., of course. And we see them from our home, so we don't ever go out there. I did one time, and I was actually parked in a field. There are plenty of fields around here. And there were a lot of other people parked out there, but it was so many years ago. And I vowed never to do it again. I used to go to what was called, maybe still is, used to go like, I don't know how many years, a place called, a show called Kaboom Town. Yeah, it was in Addison, I think so. Never again, never again. Wait. Adam had come out here to go take out the trash. As soon as he walked back in, the rain started, and he's been wanting to see rain. But he came back out to do some more, so he got to see got to feel the rain. He was walking around. Oh, we had a lot of rain lately, though. Not a whole lot, but just enough. I know there's some parts of Texas they're having such flooding and everything, and it's West Texas, kind of central and west. From what I saw, it was on the west side of like Austin and San Antonio, I think, west of that, and then between that and San Angelo. Yeah, I used to have an in-law out there in San Angelo, but not any longer. Anyway, I just thought I'd come out here and make a video. I was inside, I was thinking about how long it's been. And this comes up to my mind every once in a while, in my mind. How long it's been since I've been around people who have similar interests as I, you know. I'm around people who don't. I'm around, and when I am around people, sometimes I'm not. I mean, I'm around Adam, but sometimes it's only Adam that I'm around. And, I mean, there are, of course, you know, I go to stores and stuff like that, but I'm talking about people I would have conversations with other than, you know, just grocery store conversation. You know what I'm saying? You know, somebody I would have like a friendship with, or, you know, I would invite to my house or something like that. You know, I had a little bit too much of that with his family. Yeah. And none of these people really, none of his family, Adam, he and I are two very different people. We have different interests. He's an electrical engineer. I'm a social and behavioral scientist. So, yeah, two very different. I said he's electrical engineering. So, or he was. People don't ever give that up, you know. I worked in senior living communities, and the people that were in them, they were like past retirement. And they still, when they spoke of, you know, they spoke of themselves in that kind of term, that's what they would do. They would say what they are. They don't say what they were. So, it never leaves your mind. You know, unless, you know, if there's some traumatic brain injury, even if then. But anyway, I was just thinking that what hits me every once in a while, and it could be when I have the blues, but not necessarily. It's because sometimes it's what I want to have around me is people I can have conversations with that I wouldn't have to explain anything, you know, too much of the background. You know what I'm saying? Because if you have to go through so much explaining like you're teaching, I don't like it if somebody does that around me. You know, for one thing, I don't like it myself, somebody trying to, educate me. It was something I'm probably not at all interested in, or I would have learned it myself. You know what I'm saying? And I can put myself in their shoes, empathy. There's empathy. And say, they wouldn't want it, I don't want it. And I don't want to do that. I want somebody I can hit the, ground running with. I don't have to go slowly walk through it. Oh, I have to tell you that I saw a doctor recently, and he was so insulting. And he actually seems naive to that what he's doing. Really does. He's young. And I think he just started there, and he doesn't know the ropes yet. Well, I know he doesn't, because there was some stuff he just didn't know. He let us know that he didn't know. I had to find it out myself, not doing blood work and stuff like that. I made it convenient for myself. Did it all in one place, one time. Not spread out here, there, and another one. I think he just started. And maybe a year or two. Anyway, he was kind of, I don't think he realized how insulting he was, because he would do that educating, like going too far back into educate. It was Adam and I were together, went there. I had Adam with me, and both of us are educated people. And the guy started off like, I'm going to try to find, let's see, like he would say, now we all have and then he'd mention a body part. Well, we all know we have that kind of body part. I mean, come on. So we have this thing called it might be I don't even remember which one. He did 2 of them. But, I mean, we all know we have those. Okay. So just think of, it wasn't heart, but let's just say we all have a heart. We all have intestines, something we all know. It was neither one of those, but just think that way. And you're going to sit there and he's going to start that far back, You're like, okay. But it was insulting. But that's probably how he was taught to do it. To not assume, but that's just too insulting, really. And I think I'd jump ahead quite a bit. And if somebody says, well, what is that? Say, oh, then go backwards and say, okay, this is what we have. It's right here. But people this age, they're, my age, older, around my age and older. I mean, anybody, any adult, children are going to know that they have one, So that one just surprising. Like, really now? But what is this? And some old newspaper. Let me see. Okay, it was I was cut out from some newspaper. Not a newspaper, but a weekly flyer or something. It was still valid until August. It was Burger King. Anyway. But anyway, seriously, I get to this every once in a while when I, just feel that there are people that I don't ever run across people who have the same interests as I do. As I. They just, and it's sad because, it's being a fish out of water. It's being the, I remember the story, the ugly duckling, if I remember it correctly. Being the ugly duckling. And, and not having the good ending. And just going on and on and on without ever having anybody to talk to discuss things with, to have real conversations instead of just the superficial is how it feels. I mean, like I said, I'm around Adam, but he is not interested in the same things. I'm not interested in things that he's interested. He likes to watch a bunch of news. He always has. I do watch news, but I am not all that into it. And then I tell you the one that I got turned off to it. I'm just gonna put it that way. Watching the news so much. A few years ago, several years ago, it was just too much. And with my health and everything, it was just too much drama. And really felt like it was unhealthy. It is very unhealthy. I'm an independent, by the way, so it's not anything like I believe in only this and I believe in only that. No, that's BS to me. It is. I don't let somebody say, well, do you have to think this way if you... No, I don't. I don't have to think your way. Or their way. I don't have to think their way or your way or your way. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway. Okay, and in all truth, I have a channel and I made it on purpose for, because like I have this rare health condition. Well, it might be that I have a different one or something. They've just ran some tests, and the tests are showing, basically showing a little bit, and a yes and a little bit. We're not certain yet. They've ran so many tests. But anyway, the other part was that I have a, I don't tell anybody the score, but I have, I've started calling it an impressive IQ. That to me sounds much better than anything else. An impressive IQ. And I'm not around people who do. It's rare. I mean, these are more rare than, I don't know what you would consider rare, but yeah, I'd consider it rare. So, I actually looked it up before I came out here to see how it's, but it doesn't really say anything like that. It's kind of hard to tell, but it's not to your usual. And the way other people think, I mean, I've had to adjust to theirs, but they don't adjust to mine. I mean, they don't think in terms of that mine would be different, and in fact, most are insulting. Adam had said something yesterday. He said, "Oh, you said that, Ben, you're so humble." I said, "Let me tell you what being humble is." And I was annoyed with him. He was trying to be sarcastic, and he has this jealousy over my IQ, And I never told him, and I said, like I told him, so let me show you what humble is. I never told anybody until I was in my 50s. Not even him. Okay, he and I met married when I was 18. Okay, I'm 62. But that's the truth. I never told anybody. I never told anybody much about any that side of me. Really. But you wouldn't believe how, well, maybe you would. I think a lot of it's because of my accent, and then the things I speak on, usually because I am so open, it sounds so innocent. And they think of me as some dumb country hick, basically. I've known this for a very long while, decades. But they really have embarrassed themselves. The people who went around acting superior, they have embarrassed themselves. And this is the story of my life. I mentioned I'm around a lot of people who have the behaviors of the cluster Bs and the DSM, the personality disorders. Seriously, narcissistic, histrionic, borderline, and antisocial personality disorder, the behaviors, traits, characteristics. Some use characteristics and traits as one interchangeable. But anyway, they have those, and they do feel themselves far too often. Not everybody does, not all of them do the same thing, but they see themselves often as superior when they're not. They're the opposite of that. Not totally, but yeah, their IQ would not be impressive. It would just be average. Some of them, yeah. Some of them, maybe. I should say maybe, a big maybe. What was that? It made me think, what was that? The evil genius? Something. But, yeah. What was that stereotype? I don't know. I don't know. I am bored, in other words. It's bored, you know, all I'm going to talk about was what's on the news, or some TV show, or whatever the other person's interested in, because they're not going to have any interest. They're not. They're going to have already mentioned so many videos for so many years. How so many people I know, they just, it has to be about them. I said cluster B. It has to be about them. It has to be about what they're thinking. It's so boring to be around people like that. A lifetime of it. Literally a lifetime. Since I was born. Born right into people, to it. Community, all. So I get bored. And I go over the same things when I talk about things. Because I use my videos to vent, as it is. Some things I've seen present and past. And it's usually the same kind of stuff. It's never, ever, I mean, so rare to see something different. It's not the same kind of boring stuff. Oh well. I had it planned better in my head. My voice is going out again. I'm going to wrap this up. I'll talk to you on another video. Bye.